Hey everybody, Luxinda Swirl here. We are going to try another cup, tumbler. I did something similar to this before, but I want to try it again, and I want to do it better. I was pretty new to tumbler life. Not that I'm all that experienced now, but I was new when I did this, and it has some issues. I love it. I absolutely love it, but I really wanted it to be more than it is. I was a little afraid I was overusing the ingredients, the alcoholings, and I probably didn't use anywhere near enough. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to try with a 20-ounce skinny, and I've got all of my browns here. I even did a bit of a color test with a drop of each on paper towel so I could see what they might look like. This is butterscotch. This is sepia. This is a latte. This is ginger, this one here. This is caramel. This is teak wood, which seems really dark, but then this is espresso. And that's, I think, just as dark as teak wood. Maybe they're awfully similar. So I'm going to just use all the browns again. You will be able to see them more clearly this time. The big difference is I had spray painted the background on this, or the base coat of primer paint was black in this case. And it's white here, obviously. So it'll be a lot more visible what I'm putting down. I'm also going to be using the Pinata White, Blanco it's called, and a mixative. This is a Ranger, Tim Holtz Ranger mixative in the color Pearl. And I think this adds a little bit of glitter. I'm not entirely sure, but it's got a shaker ball in it. And it looks like there's maybe a little pearlescence to it. We'll see. I mean, it is called Pearl. Once I get my gear on, which is the next step, I won't be talking anymore. I'll be mixing and then putting it on here, the epoxy. I'm going to use KS resin. This is their arch resin. I will be spreading it on here. I'm going to mix approximately 30 milliliters. Hopefully that's exactly what I'm going to mix. And then I'll start dropping the inks and we'll watch it and see what happens. And I hope it turns out really good. So stay tuned. Oh, and no storms are forecast tonight. If you saw my recent starfish tumbler video, you'll know what that refers to. There was a big storm right in the middle of all the epoxy and alcohol ink work I was doing. So that was really intense, but I think we're in for good weather tonight. So stay tuned. It's the next day. Let's see what we got. Well, it looks beautiful. Dry to the touch. I admit I had a little trouble. I was having some real problems with that. It was coming out weird. Instead of coming out as a fluid drop, it would come out really difficultly. I had to squeeze pretty hard to get a single drop out, and then the second it hit the epoxy, it turned into a dry flake instead of being a fluid that would swirl around. So I ended up with a bunch of flakes. I have to say though, when it comes right down to it, I think this turned out really nicely in spite of the flaky white. It really isn't too bad, and there are lots of cream swirls in this. I love the pearl. That gave it a little bit of a sheen. I think that's lovely. I was going for coffee with cream in it, and I think I achieved it a lot better than that first littler cup I tried a couple months ago. So the next step with this is to put a couple vinyl decals on it. This is for somebody particular I have in mind who says a couple things a lot on his YouTube channel. So I'm going to use his two favorite slogans, one of which is 20-cent iced coffee that he makes himself instead of spending a lot of money at Starbucks. So this is supposed to represent the iced coffee he drinks on all his videos, or in all his videos. And then the other thing, he asks everybody to smash, destroy, or obliterate the like button for the YouTube algorithm, which I hope you will do here on my channel as well, because I could really use some help with this channel. Comments help a lot too, subscriptions help a lot, sharing it with other people. All that helps me a lot. But he says all these clever things to try and get people to like his videos, and I think I'm going to use obliterate the like button. So I will put a couple decals on this. I'll come back and show you how I do that. It's really simple. And then there will be a final coat of epoxy. And unless I screw something up along the way, it will be done at that point. Because I really didn't use any glitter. I didn't use anything that might stick up, with the exception of the two vinyl decals. And we'll cover that up with another layer, and then it'll be done. Fingers crossed. Okay, be back in a sec. Okay. So I have one decal here that I want to put on. I have my new cup cradle. I need to make sure before I commit too much that I'm getting everything in the right place. This was a total bear to get off the transfer, or get off the backing paper and weed. Oh my gosh. I should have used a harder setting for the cut. I used glitter vinyl, but I should have, instead of letting it stay on default in terms of the hardness of the cut, I should have changed the default to more, so it would have bared down a little harder with the blade. It was really tough. This is something you'll learn. I hadn't used this particular vinyl before. So, all right, let's see if we can get this off carefully and not take anything with it. Yay. Okay, so this is his 20-cent iced coffee. That looks pretty good, like that. And then directly on the other side, make sure I put this on the other side, so that'll be right here. I don't want it in exactly the same spot. I want this sort of in the middle like that. Obliterate the like button. Backing paper off. I thought this one was hard to weed. I was wrong. It was the other one that was so hard to weed. All right, make sure, once again, I'm going down the middle here. Right about there. Hopefully I spelled everything correctly. Obliterate the like button. Now I'm sure there's a better way to do this so that the blue shows up better. I was going with blue because that's the color of the like button once somebody's liked it. And please feel free to like this video on my channel here. It'll help me out a lot. There it is, obliterate. Let's move this. Obliterate the like button. 20-cent iced coffee. All right, so now I could go straight to epoxy and finish it off with one layer, or I could spray seal it. I'm tempted to spray seal it so that none of these little serifs and curlicues lift off. And then I will put another layer of epoxy resin on it. And at that point, unless I screw something up and need to fix it, it should be done. So I'll see you at the big reveal. Here it is, folks. It's all done finally. My homage to Stephan. I'm just going to say his name right out there. If you want to be like Graham, you need this tumbler so you can announce to the world that you're drinking 20-cent iced coffee. And as if that isn't enough, on the other side, you are asking people to obliterate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So, again, if you want to be like Graham, you need this tumbler. Thanks, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.